But you asked about 0 Hour. They had an hour of wrestling before the 4 hours of wrestling started, ladies and gentlemen, just to make sure that everybody saw enough wrestling. And I don't know what they did early on. I checked in because the pay-per-view was advertised for 8 o'clock. So I checked in about 7:30 to make sure the thing was running. And I got into Eddie, didn't get into it, but I witnessed, that may be a more appropriate term since it was somewhat of a crime. I witnessed Eddie Kingston against Tomohiro Ishii. But I understand that they tried to kill Ruby Soho earlier in the night. What happened there?
I wish you would have watched this match because it was such a train wreck that it could have used your review. For the AAA mixed tag team titles, Sammy Guevara and...
Wait a minute, they have a mixed tag team title now.
Well, AAA does, although
but
AEW...
they're defending it in AEW.
Apparently so.
Okay.
Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello, which is her new name. She married Sammy Guevara and took her maiden name back.
Wait a minute. Hold on now. If she married Sammy Guevara, why did she go to her maiden name instead of being Ty Guevara? And then Ty and Sammy Guevara could team up with Che Guevara.
It's so silly.
All right.
I think she's just preparing for the divorce, if I had to guess. But anyway.
What did they do to Ruby?
Well, it was them against Ruby and Ortiz. And early in the match, there was a spot where it looked like they broke Ruby's neck. They just threw her onto her head, and it looked awful.
I saw that one on Twitter. I saw that on Twitter. That was pretty rough.
And then for the finish, how many times have you seen a shoot knee to the nose as the finish? She had her nose broken. It was brutal. And right away goes to the ground, holding it as anyone would. But it was a shoot knee to the face from Ty Mello to defeat Ruby Soho, who has been booked like shit for a long time, and now she'll be out of action for at least a little bit, you would have to think.
So Ty is apparently not that mellow.
No, she's not.
Ruby, don't take your nose to town. Well, we hope Ruby feels better soon, because if anything else, they just need bodies at this point that can show up for work. My God, Tony should have got into the fucking medical industry. He should have opened a hospital. He's been giving other people all the business.
Do you remember the first time in your career that you had an injury every show?
What now? Back up. Say it again. What now?
Every AEW show, there's now a significant injury, it seems like. A broken nose,
you said the first time in my career I had an injury every show.
No, that like 2 shows in a row. Oh my God, another broken nose. 3 shows in a row. Look at this. Someone's broken their arm this time. Every show.
I can't remember ever of that because it didn't happen. That's what I'm saying. Arg. Well, it's not just untrained people doing this. Everybody's getting injured. The top guys are. And the folks that we say, they have some semblance of an idea of how to work, they're getting hurt too, because not only are the guys that can't do it yet reaching too far and getting ahead of their skis, but the top guys are doing so much, too much, that the law of averages is catching up with them, even if they do it right. I'm not saying that Ty fits in that category of doing it right to Ruby, but I'm saying, even if the top guys can work with doing all that ridiculous shit, you've just diminished your law of averages to the point where you're going to get hurt more often than not. It's unnecessary. It's meaningless. One of the first things I know I always preface this, but I learned a lot of things quickly when I got into business. And one of the first things I learned was you're the conductor and the fans are the orchestra. Instead of the other way around, the fans are now conducting the wrestlers, telling them what to fucking do, even if it's only in the wrestler's mind. I've got to do this or elsewise they're not going to like me. Fuck. So I'm not surprised. Anyway.